Battalion 1 on a shooting with multiple victims, at least 3 at this point.
Dispatch from Engine 8.
Engine 8, go ahead, sir. I have information there may be at least 5 patients.
Okay, dispatch from Engine 8, we're on the scene. We do have getting reports of multiple victims and an active shooter.
PD is requesting as many medical personnel as possible to the Dillards to assist with patients there as well. We have 2 additional engines en route, Engine 5, and then we also have a child down outside Theater 9.
Welcome back. Today, we delve into the life of James Holmes, the despicable man behind the horrific 2012 Aurora Theatre shooting. This is a story of a promising young man who became a monster, leading to one of the most devastating mass shootings in United States history. Let's explore his background, his actions, and the aftermath. James Egan Holmes was born on December 13th, 1987 in San Diego, California, to a well-educated family. His father, Robert Holmes, held advanced degrees and worked as a scientist and mathematician, while his mother, Arlene Holmes, was a registered nurse. James also had a sister named Chris. Growing up, James exhibited signs of mental health issues from a young age. At 11, he attempted suicide and reported seeing imaginary figures and shadows at night. Despite these challenges, he excelled academically, graduating from Westview High School in San Diego. James Holmes continued his academic journey at the University of California, Riverside, where he graduated with highest honors in neuroscience in 2010. He was a member of several honor societies and was described as a brilliant student with a bright future. In 2011, Holmes enrolled in the PhD program in neuroscience at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus in Aurora. However, during his time in the program, his mental health deteriorated significantly. Holmes' mental health issues worsened during his graduate studies. He began experiencing severe symptoms, including seeing violent visions and shadows. Despite seeking help from campus mental health services, he refused treatment and withdrew from the program in June 2012 after failing a key oral exam. Holmes' erratic behavior and isolation raised concerns, but no one could predict the tragic events that would follow.
Midnight showing of the Batman movie turned into a nightmare. Police are on the scene. Right now we know, as we said, before we were reporting 14 dead, we now believe there are only 12 dead, but I want to look at those hazmat teams going into the movie theater right now. Of course, there's blood on the scene, but also reports of smoke bombs, Amy, going off, so they can go in there and try and figure out exactly what that substance was.
That's right, and here's what we know right now. As you mentioned, the revised number, 12 dead, 50 injured. The youngest victim, just 3 months old. The suspect is in custody right now. We know he's a young man, 24 years old. Eyewitnesses describe him as armed for battle, a rifle, a handgun, a shotgun, and as George mentioned, smoke bombs. We're learning a lot more about the victims in this shooting as well.
On July 20th, 2012, James Holmes entered the Century 16 movie theater in Aurora, Colorado, during a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises. Armed to the teeth, he started shooting indiscriminately into the crowd, killing 12 innocent people and injuring 70 others. Imagine the terror in that darkened theater, the chaos, the screams. Only a true piece of shit would do something so heinous. Holmes was apprehended by police without resistance and later found to have booby-trapped his apartment with explosives, which was safely defused by a bomb squad. What kind of coward does that? What kind of person meticulously plans such devastation and then tries to kill even more people from afar? During his trial, Holmes pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. His defense argued that he was suffering from severe mental illness, but the jury saw through it and found him guilty on multiple counts of first-degree murder. On July 16, 2014, Holmes was sentenced to 12 life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 318 years. Holmes is currently serving his sentence in a high-security facility, where he has faced threats and attacks from other inmates due to the notoriety of his crimes. Even hardened criminals despise him for what he did. Can you imagine being so despised even among society's most dangerous? The Aurora Theatre shooting had a profound impact on the nation, sparking debates about gun control and mental health. Holmes' case highlights the complexities of dealing with mental illness and the legal system's challenges in preventing such tragedies. While the vast majority of individuals with mental health issues are not violent, Holmes' case underscores the need for better mental health resources and intervention strategies. What can we do to prevent another piece of shit like James Holmes? James Holmes' upbringing was seemingly normal. He participated in science camps and showed an early interest in neuroscience. However, beneath the surface, he struggled with mental health issues that went largely unnoticed by those around him. Holmes' parents were supportive, but they were unaware of the extent of his internal struggles. His descent into violent thoughts and actions seemed to accelerate during his time in the PhD program, where the pressure and isolation took a toll on his already fragile mental state. Could someone have seen the signs and intervened? In the months leading up to the attack, Holmes meticulously planned his assault on the theatre. He purchased firearms, ammunition, and tactical gear. He even kept a detailed notebook outlining his plans and his descent into madness. The level of premeditation is chilling. Holmes' notebook, later recovered by investigators, provided chilling insight into his mind. He referred to himself as the Joker and believed that by committing this act, he would achieve a form of twisted infamy. What kind of pathetic loser seeks such notoriety? The aftermath of the Aurora shooting was a time of mourning and reflection for the community and the nation. Families of the victims and survivors faced immense grief and trauma. The shooting sparked nationwide debates on gun control, mental health, and the responsibilities of institutions in identifying and preventing such threats. Holmes' trial brought further media attention, and the courtroom was filled with emotional testimonies from survivors and families of the victims. The case became a focal point for discussions on how to balance mental health issues with public safety. How do we strike that balance? Holmes' life in prison is one of isolation and high security. Due to the nature of his crimes, he is kept away from the general prison population to prevent attacks from other inmates. He spends most of his time in a solitary cell with limited interaction. Reports indicate that Holmes has faced numerous threats and attacks while incarcerated, highlighting the continuing impact of his actions even behind bars. His mental health remains a concern, with ongoing evaluations and limited contact with the outside world. Does he ever regret his actions? James Holmes' story is a tragic example of a promising life derailed by mental illness, leading to devastating consequences. It's a reminder of the importance of mental health awareness and the need for comprehensive support systems. Thank you for watching. For more true, creepy stories that'll question your reality, subscribe now. If you dare,